go. Yes. I love this question because it's not complicated, but it is. So what led me to that was both my parents passed away in the last 4.5 years. My mother was last. After my mother passed away, I was very depressed. And so with that, I felt a depression that was not sadness, because I can feel that, but this was different. I knew something was wrong. And so I immediately got a therapist. Like within the week of my mother passing away, I didn't know then what I know now, which was it was happening for me, not to me. That's easy to see now. But what happened was in therapy, I also I thought I was going for depression, which I own, but it unlocked. I had flashbacks of my childhood trauma, and so that also came in. So it was a lot of grief, childhood trauma, the depression, my parents gone, and unlock and just getting back to who I was as a child was like, oh my gosh, who am I? What am I? And also understanding that everything that even though I took responsibility for my life in therapy because nobody can do it for me. And what led me, the thing is it doesn't matter about blame. It matters about responsibility. So that's what I understood in therapy was, okay, so this is the childhood trauma. But then the conversation went like this. One day with the therapist, what were you like as a 16-year-old? And I said, well, I was pretty lonely because I didn't have friends. I didn't know how to do that. But I said I had a part-time job and a really good paycheck. And I took that paycheck and I spent it on every single fashion magazine. Now I'm 61, right? So back then they were very big, and we had a store that had international fashion magazines. So not just Vogue USA, but Vogue International, you get it. So I was like, oh my gosh, I bought stacks of those with my whole paycheck. I would go home and I would comb over all of that. I would love the fashion, the fabric, the location. And I said to her, I love fashion. I always have. I'm going to start. And I said right out loud, I'm going to start sharing my story through fashion on Instagram, and I'm going to show up for myself. And that was, that was just like a light, like it was like, oh my gosh, I forgot all about that. But because I was in therapy, I remembered a lot of the good things about myself, and painful, but it definitely connected me back to fashion. And that's how I started. I just started showing up on Instagram for myself. No. Yes. Yes. Mhm. Mhm. Yes. I agree. I think we're all examples through our own definition of art. If we decide to lean in what brings us joy, of course, that's different for everybody. It could be golfing, like it could be anything. But I think that's just an act of like if you've been through something very difficult and then you take responsibility, because that's what we've both done by way of rehab and also the continued therapy for myself too. What evolves from that is you get back to yourself and what you loved. You've made life got messy. And then when you show up, that is your art of that's the art of self-love, the art of beauty, the art of authenticity. People overuse that word. But for we recognize for those who are actually in this sense of I love myself, which I believe is a lifetime project. I don't think it's ever done, but yes, it's art. It's art for you, how you show up. People see it. They're attracted to the fact that they can see it's not just, oh, you've done the work. And so it's very attractive because there are profoundly a lot of women moving through this world asking themselves what's next and also holding a lot from the past. I don't know what that is. It's very different for people. Right. Yes. Mhm. It is. Yes, it that's the biggest part for me, not there are, I think loneliness is, I think what's important is that acknowledging it, talking about it is a big deal for me. I know that when I first started therapy, it was profoundly lonely. It wouldn't matter if I had a room full of people going, let's go, let's go. The support system is there for you. However, it's something you said, which is you've got to walk through that loneliness and or what crawl. I called it crawling, but I and it's part of understanding that it's okay to be lonely. That's not to run, not to react. For me, it was, hey, it's okay. I'm lonely. All right, I acknowledge it. So that was for me half of it. But there was times when I was desperately lonely, and only I think people who are in this kind of thing real like are it's important to share because if you told me before therapy it's going to be so desperately lonely that you feel like it's a black hole because it was like I can't believe doesn't matter what anybody says to me. I'm lonely, lonely, lonely. If somebody had told me that, I would have gone, "What do you mean? You're supposed to be working on yourself. Isn't it supposed to give you light?" No, it gets you down in a place where you're basically stripped of everything, and that's what it's asking of you. And so it is profoundly lonely, but it does. I find that as I go, I don't know about you, it gets less. There are moments, but it's less intense. Oh, absolutely. It's so profound. Right. No, it's, yeah, that's very much so. No, it's not. No, it is. Yes. Good. Yes. True. You get connection. Yes, absolutely. There's no doubt. Absolutely. That's right. Yes, you're very good at it. And I think and that's the whole thing is like, if what I didn't know before 57 was if I had done the work, I probably would have got there sooner as far as people saying something similar to me. But everybody, there's to each his own. I think it's very, that's the point of the work is to start, it starts giving you these thoughts of what if I did this and what if I, because that's so important because you're discovering what ifs. That's the best curiosity you could ever have. And anybody who questions it sometimes just isn't there yet. That's all. Yeah. Oh, yes. Yeah. Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it's so interesting. I love therapy because with the right therapist, it's there's these moments of, oh, aha, I call it. It's like, wow. Although there are difficult parts in therapy, there's no doubt, but I think it speaks to that getting help is getting the right help can be profoundly change your life for the better. There is hope, and there is hope. This is just and I speak to women all the time on direct messages. It's profound, and it's not always about, in my case, childhood trauma or depression or grief. It. I always, when women are coming in, sometimes they've lost a pet. That's very significant. If the pet has been in your life for 20 years, sometimes 50, you know what I'm saying? They've lost their job or they've lost their interest in their career, their children have moved out, their children move back in. It's not just it doesn't have to be complex. It can be that's a temporary that can help be when you get help on it, it basically helps you navigate that stage. So sure, absolutely. No, it's not. That's right. Yes. Yeah. Yes. You do. Oh yes. I know. Nope. Nope. No. Yeah. Yes. Life is unfair. It is. It's it's very interesting because I know that I know I've been a part of different groups with childhood trauma. I don't get into the specifics because there's family and that I don't so there's I'm taking responsibility, but when people are not in that same space, I'm just gonna have to take care of myself. But the thing is that it's there's a profound amount of pain out there, and I think sometimes people have I'm recognizing that it's they're asking me, well, I've got this therapist, it's not working. They actually are doing, and sadly, just like anything in life, there's different therapists for different people, and not the big thing I noticed was don't give up because some people are 3 years maybe with a therapist and it's not working, and it's okay to evaluate yourself. Are you doing the work? But also sometimes it's just not. It's like anything in life, so, but people carry a lot of pain. The bottom line is it's if you if you choose to take responsibility, your life will change profoundly because we could hold the blame for anything. You could hold blame for why you drank, right? Or why you make those choices, or why I, as a childhood trauma, my life was from that moment on, age 8, it was like a hell on fire mess. It looked like everything was disastrous because, but I was like in adulthood, as we age, we have to say, okay, how can I change this? That's the biggest thing with a lot of people is you've got to step forward. Oh, for sure. Yes. Correct. Yes. Yes. Mhm. Very. It's very hard. It to me, it's the most difficult work of my adult life, but the most beautiful. So that mixes in every hour of every day, difficult, beautiful. And so, yeah, it's complicated. But I, I look back to who I was then, and I never want to go back to that. So it's difficult, and as the hardest work it is and the most beautiful work, it's profoundly beautiful living on this side of it because I now feel life. I also make better decisions. But yeah, it is hard. There's a lot of I want to quit. Yeah. 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 Oh, yes. Yeah. Very much so. I agree. I think it's very, for me, that I have that conversation sometimes when I'm talking on live or with women who message me about the purpose, also the responsibility around social media, because nobody is making you come to any social media platform. And also understanding that if you're showing up for a purpose, to find the right people. So let's say somebody's really started yoga and they want to find yoga, you have to, finding those people is important to you. But if you're there with those people, the purpose of that is to learn and grow and connect, right? But when I have a lot of people saying, well, social media makes me feel very bad. Well, then then you have to revisit your purpose. That's your responsibility because nobody makes you follow that guy that's yelling things that's negative, or that woman, sorry. So purpose is really important to always revisit, because if it's not making you feel well, then you kind of have to ask yourself, what was my purpose? Maybe it's changed. Why? And sure, envy. Yeah. Yeah. You notice it circles back to taking responsibility. It's, it really is about that. Like you just said, that life is hard. And that as soon as we understand that that is the reality, then the responsibility is, okay, it's hard. What's my responsibility and how do I react to it? Yeah, you always can do something. I think it really, like a lot of women, I'm glad that I'm alive at this point in time in my life. I'm blessed because I think this world, through a series of really bad events, mostly, I think the Epstein event, not event, I apologize, the whole Epstein really was like this, in my opinion. Okay, I'm not talking about I'm talking that it was brought to light, the depth of it and the horribleness of it. And I feel a lot of women went, what is going on? And it awakened so many different levels of uh that for women of like, why am we have power, we have voices, we need to be seen. And I think collectively that's sadly started in a good and bad way. This started women going, this has got to stop. We have to start leaning into permission for ourselves and speaking our power and owning it. And I just really think, and I see younger, what I love to see now is that the women who are 30 are asking the questions that my age are asking. That's beautiful. So they have the gift. The horrible parts of life is that a lot of things come from like the initiative to look at our own lives come from people who have suffered. And but we recognize that and hold it. But the women who are seeing it at 30, that makes me very joyful for them because they're going to experience more of who they are, not later. True. It's beautiful. Good. Yes. Yes, yes, absolutely. It's very, and I have two friends as well here, like and it depends where you live. Sometimes the communities are not as understanding. But I do think that women of younger ages are definitely are seeing the world through a different lens. That is exactly what I love to hear because that's the whole point is I'm also reaching back to say, hey, like I'm older, I'm here to mentor in a sense by that's why I'm sharing. And I get messages about women who say, oh, I want to be you when I grow up. And really that's just sorry, that's just a fun expression, but like they say that because people are busy on social media. They don't want to get into long, but that is profoundly true about they see something, how I'm leading, encouraging different thought around who are you, what are you? And if you have that question about what's next for you, it's okay. It's not the end of the world. Your degree that you went to school for, if your mind has changed, it's okay. So, it is. It is. So I love that. It means a lot to me in my community. A large portion of the women are 30 to 40. Um, so I love it. How I think for me, I don't think I could have dealt with it. First of all, it still stings. I'm only human. Uh, but it stings less than I know what to do with it. So I think my responsibility to myself was the more I understood myself and my purpose. And so when I put myself out there, it's for Jane, meaning it's from a good place. So people's opinion is their opinion. Uh, and I also know that people are carrying a lot of pain because I did it before. So I call the kettle black. Like I also carried pain. So I wasn't moving through the world, and I didn't know how. I wasn't mean, but I didn't have. I carried pain. I didn't know to what depth. So if people come in and they leave a negative comment, I actually feel empathy for them because I know that it's not about me. It's about maybe they feel maybe a lot is going on in their life that they can't even they don't even recognize. So therefore, it's their opinion. And I think the thing is to be mindful of everybody's different. So I get asked this question, what do you do with the negative comments? How I do it and how the other person does it is right. So for Jane, I always empathize. I don't talk to those people because it ends up that's a lot of energy. It's negative, right? I'm not arguing. Yeah, for me, I'm not doing a video. This is so and so. Look at what she said. I don't want to do it'll be endless those videos. So what I choose to do, and the platform gives me the option, restrict or block. Or there are two people. There's people that want to call people out. That's fine. Or so I choose this. What's good? I don't have it within me to expand that. It takes a lot of energy to visit these negative comments. Lots of energy. So no, yeah, it gives it's giving them they don't like I've been there when you don't even know why something's bothering you. So it's like a child, you lash out because you don't have that. But I empathize with that. But the next step for Jane is to protect my peace because I've earned it. So that's what I do. Other women are good. Leaving the comments up and having arguments or sorry, discussions and also doing videos. That's Jane. I don't have time. I'm 61. I got less time on this planet. I don't have the energy to do that anymore. So I just block because they'll move on to the next person and then it's done. Yes. Mhm. Yes. Yes. Yeah, I think it's important that it's right now. Like if you feel it's good to acknowledge that, ma'am, or there's sometimes when there's people unknowingly say things because it's where they're coming from. It's not there's for most people are not coming from I'm going to attack this person. And so but the most important thing is it's how you feel is that's within here. And to celebrate that is remarkable. It's the ownership of age, there's power in it. The world is also leaning into older both men and women, but women in particular. I think it's really, as you own who you are, also it's important to have the people around you that are also doing the same, because you need it. There is this big gap between brands, at least in North America, are not recognizing women over the age of 40, even though they're buying the product. So in Europeans, like it's a little bit different thoughts. I appreciate that. But in North America, there is a lot of resistance. So women get that too. Like, hey, we buy most of your product and you're putting somebody under the age of like 30 in your all of your ads and branding and not recognizing. So, we get a lot of, what your age is bad. I think what you don't have to, what I think I doesn't bother me anymore, because also I get pissed off. So I use that in my own very clever way to talk about it on socials. I st- because I believe in it. But I think if you start the momentum of this is me, this is who I am, at first it's hard and then it's not the focus anymore, because you're just feeling great about your life at a certain age. And then but the world is changing slowly. By the time your daughter is, it'll be beautiful. You're going to face discriminate. It's the way it goes. It's what you do with it. It's what you do with it. If you feel empowered to, just keep shining your light, that's how say F you to the age, category. It's all about not asking for permission, because the world's not going to give it to you at any age. If that makes sense. Absolutely. End of story. Thank you. Thank you. It was a pleasure. I love this. Thank you for reaching out to me. Yeah, no problem. You let me know and let me know how I can support you in the future. Thank you for taking the time. I love you. I think you're beautiful. Thank you. Bye.